Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of the Broadway Beat Q&A series. Here we go. Okay, now we're going on to embarrassing audition / performance stories. I have a lot of embarrassing audition, well, maybe more embarrassing performance stories. In Aladdin, I was wearing a beautifully custom La Duca shoe. And in that show, there's like a lot of tracks in the floor so that the genie can pop in and out, the sets can slide in and out. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff on the floor. And we were going around this circle and we're like, do, 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 boom, boom, boom. And then I feel something under my feet, and then my shoe falls off, and my shoe was stuck in a track. So I had to do the rest of the number with one shoe on. I did the whole number with one shoe on. And everyone was pointing at the shoe and laughing. Of course, you know, they're so professional. So pointing at the shoe and laughing at me, talking about, look at that shoe. And they were like, whose shoe is that? And I'm like, it's mine. Da, 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 da. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, and something rotten. One day, because in the eggs we have the egg on, and then I have an egg hat on, and that egg hat kind of hides you inside the egg as you dance with the egg, and the egg hat just popped off. So I'm like trying to hide in the egg so people can't see my face because they're not supposed to see it yet. So then when I finally reveal myself, I just have on a yellow like skull cap. I look over to Brian Darcy James and Christian Borle and the rest of the boys during my eggy white scene, and they're all looking at me, and everyone's dying laughing because I look crazy. I have no hat on. I'm just a yellow face. It's terrible. Last question, it was from Savannah G. Taylor. I didn't want to miss that. So I think this is Riepie, R-I-E-P-I-E. I hope that's right. How did you get interested in Broadway and performing? Always loved, performing, but I was a singer first, and I decided to do Broadway after I saw a performance of Aida on tour in North Carolina. My music teacher took me, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do that. I went to school, and like I told you before, I auditioned for the vocal program, and I found out I had a cyst on my cords, had to get surgery, which threw me back, and I had to wait another year before I could audition for the musical theater program. So they're like, you can't do voice, do you want to do musical theater? And I was like, okay, that sounds great. So I decided to do that, and I was also doing education at the same time. So I did theater education and musical theater at the same time. And after college was over, I did a bunch of shows in college as well. I did Hair, Bessel House in Texas, Pajama Game, Faye May and Pajama Game. So I got a lot of experience there. And then after college, I decided, oh, I don't want to teach. I want to go to try to pursue Broadway. So I decided to go try it out. And my first job was at Matt Davenport Productions at Hershey Park, and I picked that one because it paid the most. I was like, oh, I'm rich, right out of college. I think it was like, I don't know, $700 a week, which is a lot. That's pretty good right out of college. I was like, I want to do that. So I did that. I did cruise ships. I did work for Holland America. That's where I met my husband. So I did that, and then I would do regional theater productions in between the contracts. Worked at dinner theaters. I worked at really nice regional theaters, and then I just kept climbing and climbing and climbing, getting better and better and better jobs. My breakout role, I got cast in Book of Mormon. It was, it was life-changing. It changed my life. I met Casey Nicola, and after I met him, everything changed. And then he offered me a Broadway contract in Aladdin, and then another one in Something Rotten. And here I am. It was a long journey. It was over 8 years, but I made it. So don't ever feel like you can't make it because you're in your journey. It's all a process. The process is the proof. It really is. It's the proof that you can make it. So just keep going and keep striving and doing your thing. Okay, that was long. Let me get to my next question. So next question is from J Cadence. It says Jai Cadence. Any something rotten pre-show rituals. My pre-show ritual, I would say, is I listen to music before shows. That's kind of like a pre-show thing that I like to do, either if I do it at home or I do it at the theater. I also have to stretch a leg. That's what I call it. I say stretch a leg at least one before the show starts, because then I stretch again in the middle of the show. Other pre-show rituals we all go onto the stage before the show starts just to say hi to each other. How's your day? How's it going? So we can just check in and say hi to each other before the show starts. Okay, next question is from Case 175. This is another question from you. Thank you. What do you use as motivation when the Broadway lifestyle has you feeling low on confidence? Whew, that was a deep question. Oh wow, Broadway, not even just Broadway, the whole business of entertainment is it's really hard business. It's hard on your soul, it's hard on your mind, it's just a hard business. It takes a lot out of you. It makes you tough. It can also break you down. When I'm at my lowest, I just always have to count my blessings. I'm on Broadway, and sometimes I have bad days where I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I not doing more? Why am I not the biggest lead star on Broadway right now? Why can't I be smaller so I can play this part or whatever? Like, why can I don't know, all these questions that get in your mind, like, why didn't I get cast in that show? It's all these things that take you out of your joy. I like to stay in the presence of joy and to find joy in everything that I do. So, it comes in. And when I feel those low times, I have to count my blessings and think about how far I've come. I started out in a theme park, and now I'm on the biggest stage in New York City. So anytime that I get down on myself, or I feel that I'm not doing enough, I have to really just look back and count my blessings. I really am all about being grateful and finding the joy in what you're doing at the moment, because I really feel like you'll never be promoted until you're satisfied with where you are and take gratitude and joy and just being. So this is from RKL. Is it hard moving frequently from show to show, memorizing lines and songs? Yes, it is. Well, because you never feel settled. I have been moving around and doing new shows for years now, and luckily I've just been so blessed to be able to go from show to show to show. You have to just stay on top of the work. I really feed off being super busy. I actually have to go be at my show in 15 minutes. I have to leave. So it is a lot to juggle, but I really, really love it. I love doing new work, so I don't mind the extra work. This is from Jay Zazzle again. In high school, did you have a stage crew? If not, and the actors have to do scene changes, what advice do you have for balancing scene changes, costume changes without freaking out and getting overstressed? This is a great question, because people think just because you're on Broadway, you don't move sets or move props and things. You do. There is a couple of moves that I have to do, because if it's a part of your character, you can move them legally, I think. It just becomes a part of your track, just like the movement, the dance, with the songs. It's part of your track. It's a part of what you have to do. Like, I have to take this big barrel off stage, but I know I have to do that right after I sing and after I'm tired and sweaty, but I still have to move it. You just do it, and you have to just make it part of your choreography and make it a part of your total track, and then you won't seem as overwhelmed. And what is your favorite costume that you got to wear in Aladdin? And what was your favorite part of doing the show? I loved Aladdin. Boo! I love Disney. I love Aladdin. It was my first Broadway show, so I really loved it. It was my favorite. My favorite costume I used to wear, I had this yellow, I want to put a picture right here. Oh, it's so good. I had this yellow costume that I came out in, and then the doors of the palace would open, and it'd be me and Bud Weber, who's done every show with me so far. He would be on the side of me, and then Trent would be on the other side, and we would come out, Prince Ali, go. Yellow feathers, hat. It was like a Celia Cruz, Beyonce. Every diva you could think of was wrapped up into this costume. Okay, it was amazing. It was one of my favorite costumes I wore in the show. And let me think. My favorite part of doing the show. My favorite part of doing the show was the people. I mean, of course I loved doing the show, but the people in that show really made it. We were a real family. I still go to people's birthdays and baby showers and weddings and all that stuff. We still keep in contact. It was a really a tight-knit family. So the people and the family that I made there are probably one of my favorite parts of that show. Thank you for joining me in our first Broadway Beat Q&A series. Next up, I'll be answering some of your favorite beauty questions. Don't miss it. Next time on Broadway Beat.